So you asked me how to plan for a trip on the BWCA. I have two different suggestions. Some people who aren't experienced with canoeing, I would suggest you use an outfitter. They have a guidebook that you can use that will help you plan for everything you need for the trip, such as tents, sleeping bags, shovels. Why would you need a shovel? Well, the reason why is because some areas don't have restrooms, and you can use the shovels to dig a pit so that you can use the restroom. Anyway, the guidebook helps you plan for everything you need for supplies. They also help you with your menu. Now, you must remember that in the on the WCA, glass is prohibited. You must use plastic bags. So you make sure that everything is packed in plastic and not glass. But the BWCA, the outfitters have ways they can help you with your menu planning. Like, you just check off what you need and what you would like to eat and let them know. And also include, all the supplies you need, what size life jackets, canoes, everything like that. They will, if you'll just let them know, they will provide you with everything you need. You just call them when you're ready to go, and they will meet you at your campsite and have everything prepared for you. My family, what we prefer to do is we prefer to make a checklist. We've gone before and used outfitters, but it was kind of awkward, so we just prefer to use the checklist and then mark off items as we pack. I use a Duluth pack. A friend of mine had one, and I really, really liked it. And some people, they use a plastic bag to line the pack so they can make it waterproof. And they use the same bag every year, but I don't use our bag every year. I would just buy a new one. Like, many times when you use it, it gets holes in it and things like that. So I just throw it out and buy a new one. I have one pack that I use for the camping items. I put the sleeping bag in the Duluth pack, then the tent, and finally the shovel. And then we have another bag, which is also a Duluth pack. I'm not sure if they're all called Duluth packs, but anyway, the second bag we have for clothes and life jackets. For the canoeing items such as life jackets. In one of the packs, it's rubber coated and has a drawstring on it, so it's just easy open, and it's rubber coated. It's an expensive bag, but it's really worth it. And I'm not sure if it's called a Duluth pack, but anyway, we put all of our family clothes in one. I don't take a bag for each person in the family to pack their clothes in, but we just all pack our clothes in one. And I also pack very lightly. Like, for example, if we're going for a week, I'll only take one pair of jeans, or one pair of pants. And I suggest that you don't take jeans because they take too long to dry. Materials such as wool or nylon are better suited for the camping trip. And I think the name of a brand of pants is called Patagonia. I really love those pants. They dry easy and they keep you very warm. So I prefer to use those type of pants. And I only take maybe 2 pairs of shoes. Sometimes I take my hiking boots, but most of the times they're too heavy. And I have a flip-flop or sandals called Tevas that I really like, and I like to use them to walk around the campsite. So I put all these things into one bag. And the Duluth pack that has all the camping items such as tent, sleeping bag, and stove. And I don't use this large stove, just a small propane one. So now on to the food. Some people, they like to buy the dry, dehydrated food. I don't. It really costs too much. So if you prefer to spend a lot of money, then that may work for you. What I like to do is I like to cook ahead of time. I like to cook chili with meat, and then I'll put it in a Ziploc bag, seal it up, and then we freeze it. And what I've started doing recently is my father for Christmas last year gave me this machine, and it seals the food. I think it's called a food saver. And anyway, it helps the food not to leak out of the bags. So what I do is I just put it in the cook the food, put it in the vacuum seal it, and then put it in the freezer. And then when we're ready to go, I just take it out of the freezer and pack it. And instead of using orange juice, I prefer to use Tang, because the BWCA prohibits glass containers. It makes it easier just to take the Tang with us in a plastic bag. So now I have a list for food, and I just check everything off. And when I'm finished packing, I have 3 bags: one for camping supplies, clothes, and food. And of course, you need a canoe. And our family does not have one, but we prefer to rent one from the outfitter. The outfitter has many different canoes that you can choose from: aluminum, wood, Kevlar, and fiberglass. And you can also choose from different colors. And some people don't like the aluminum canoes because they're too heavy. Some people prefer the wood ones. And the wood ones are nice because they are homemade. Anyway, I prefer to rent canoes from the outfitters. BWCA has tons of outfitters to choose from. You can also check them out on the internet. So that's how we plan for the trip. We make a list that includes clothes, equipment, and food.